What's up, gang? It's Deltia from DeltiasGaming.com here on Inferno Nugget, going to teach you about provisioning. Why is it so important, and why should you level it up? And also, of course, how to power level this sucker from 1 to 50 very, very fast. Okay, so the reason provisioning is so important right now, if you've been sleeping and haven't been playing ESO, living under a ESO rock, I want to show you a couple things here. So basically what's happened in the game, if I can get to my little thing here, is this. Psijic Ambrosia. This is on the PC side, and there's these new XP potions that give you a boost for 50%. The interesting part is it lasts 30 minutes by default, but you can increase the duration by 250 minutes. So you can use one of these for 50 minutes, and right now they're actually pretty cheap to buy, around 20,000 gold. And roughly, if you follow my grind video, you can make almost all that money back and constantly use these while leveling or grinding up your characters. It's super, super helpful. So how do you even make these? Well, one, you have to get seven fragments, and you can only get it from provisioning writs done daily. How do you get provisioning writs? Well, you need to level up your provisioning to level 50 so you can get the endgame ones in Craglorn. So there's one benefit right there of why provisioning is so important. If you want to make this stuff, you have to provision. And you also have to fish, which I'm going to have another guide later on fishing as well. So provisioning is going to give you a boost of 20 minutes of the XP potions, and it's going to allow you to maybe get some of these fragments or sell them. Some of them are going for 200,000 gold right now. So I want all my characters to have level 50 provisioning. Okay, so provisioning basic. Super, super easy to do provisioning. Essentially, you need a few things. You need one, ingredients. These are my provisioning ingredients. You get these by just looting every single thing you can get your hands on, and especially things inside of buildings. Barrels, crates, drawers, dressers, anything that has something in it, loot it. Loot it, loot it, loot it. And the gear that you get or the items that you get is going to depend on what level and zone you're at. So if you're a level 20 in a level 20 zone, you're going to get pieces of provisioning materials and recipes for that type of level. As you progress through the game, you get more and more rare, more and more better provisioning items. So essentially, while you're leveling, loot everything. That's it. If you have someone at endgame already, then you can get some high-end stuff. But you're going to need everything to start. You're going to need low-end items, medium, and the heavy-duty ones. Why is that? So you have the materials. Let's say you got a bunch of that. Well, next thing you need is the recipe. The recipe here comes in a bunch of different categories. You got green, blue, and purple. Okay? And so some of these require 2 items, 3, 4, and so on. And then the gold one, the legendary mat, is that Psijic Ambrosia. So essentially you need green will get you some moderate amount of inspiration per thing made. Now when you go to blue, that's going to use 3 different items. 3 different items means more inspiration. So you typically want the blue and or purple. Purple gets a little bit more complicated. You have to use some more mats, and you have to be in there for a while, so you're not going to worry too much about that. So we got ingredients, we got recipes that we're going to have, and then we have a cooking fire. This right here. That's it. It tells you what you can make, and you can select have ingredients, have skill, and it goes through your inventory in your bank and sees what you can make and lists the level. So notice it has a level right here. That's very, very important. Essentially what you want to do is make the maximum thing you can. So instead of making a level 5 item, you want to make a level 30 if you can make that. Also, provisioning has a skill line. I know it's a lot of information to take in, but it's actually pretty simple. Provisioning right here has a skill line. So the thing that we're worried about is recipe quality. You really only want to unlock blues, which is just 1 skill point. And then it has recipe improvement. This right here is what's going to allow you to make better and better recipes. So you're going to need about 5 skill points to get that maxed. And then you have gourmet and connoisseur. Connoisseur is the one that adds to drink duration. So if you're just using the XP potions, this is what you want right here. And then the chef and brewer. These are if you plan on making this your main primary thing, but you also might want to get hireling because they do bring stuff to you every 12 hours, and now that provisioning is super important, think about that. So essentially what we're going to do is find a bunch of recipes, that vary in difficulty. We're going to get a bunch of materials that we already have or buy them from guild stores. And then we're just going to start crafting stuff and putting points into the skill line when they come up. So the first one's at level 20. You got 1 to 20 the very first time. Then 30, 40, so on. So that's really all you have to do. So now what I want to do is show you how to get those recipes and or use the guild traders to your advantage, even if you're on consoles. Alright, so here we are in Craglorn at the traders where you can find a lot of handy recipes. So if you don't know much about traders, basically you can bid on traders as a guild in various locations, and your guild can store and sell stuff to the public at specific locations. There's some really high traffic areas. Craglorn's one, Ralka, Stormhaven, Wayrest, and the Deshawn, Mournhold. So I'm at Craglorn's a pretty good one, and different people sell different stuff. The really high traffic areas have super rare, expensive things, and some off-beaten traffic traders have some items that usually people don't go for. So I'm going to go to Craglorn, kind of one of the better places, and look for some recipes. Reason I'm looking for recipes here is because I don't have enough to go all the way from 1 to 50. So let me show you what you do here. You go to Guild Store. This is Master Merchant, this add-on that shows all that fancy stuff. Crafting, provisioning, not woodworking. And then you got our recipes. First thing I want to do is hit the blue, because if you make a recipe with more ingredients, it gives you more inspiration, which is the experience basically for crafting. So I come here and I put my mouse over it. Now what this tells me is quite a bit of data. It also has this Master Merchant list. You're not going to have that on consoles, which you're going to have everything above that, which it tells you about the ingredients. And then it also checks your inventory if you have it. So notice the ingredients are rye, coffee, seaweed. You notice it's blacked out, so I don't have that. And then you also notice requires recipe improvement 5 and quality 2. What we're worried about is getting at least 1 in each recipe improvement, because every recipe improvement, like every 10, 20 skill points in the skill line, you can put a skill point in it to make better and better items. Better and better items gives you more and more inspiration. So you're not going to be able to whip through it right away at level 5 items, and you're not going to be able to. You're going to have to make 10,000 things to get to 50. Instead, just keep putting a skill point in the skill line and keep on going. So I know it's not a little confusing, but eventually we're just going to put our mouse over a bunch of these and go through and look if we can't find a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a 6. I've already got 5. So let's go here. Mouse over. Alright, so out of all those traders, I was able to find everything but 2. We still need a 2, so let's just buy a cheapy one. And all you have to do for this is use the green ones. Might take a little bit more ingredients to make, but you should be able to find it just fine. Go to recipes, and let's scroll down here. There's a 4 and a 5 already, and these are pretty easy to find, and we're looking for 2. So this brings up the next question, which is, how do you get these? Especially if you don't have the access to the ingredients yourself. Basically, the easiest way to get all of these ingredients is just loot everything. Loot everything, including drawers, chests, barrels, anything inside of buildings, and you're going to get tons and tons of these materials. So that's how you can get it without buying it. But right there it took us about 5,000 gold. We got all the recipes that we need. So now it's time to go to a cooking fire. Alright, now that we have everything, we are coming to a really cool crafting spot, courtesy of Red Crassy for letting me know this. And it is in Rivenspire, Stormholm. Reason this is a really good place for provisioners, it has a nice little cute lockbox right there, but it also has the banker and a cooking fire right by it. So if you're out of supplies and you need to go buy it, you can go to your guild store, go to your bank. It's super, super convenient. Okay. So let's start this stuff. We got those recipes that I just showed you earlier. We're going to consume them. So all you do is click on them. E key. 1, 2, 3, 5, and 4. It looks like I bought too many. Whoops. Derp to derp. So now we have at least 1 in each thing. We also have a few skill points free. 21. which is good because this is going to consume up a bunch of skill points. We already have our one recipe in here, so we're not going to be able to use blue quite yet until we get to level 10. And then we're going to be at level 20 once we can make higher level recipes. So let's see what we can't make. Oh, we can make a lot of stuff. Roasted venison. Tarragon chicken. Ooh, we can make good old rabbit. Millet. Piflay. I don't know what that is. You guys are crazy. So here's what I'm going to do. I have this thing down here which is called Multicraft. It's a really helpful add-on that allows you to craft a ton of things at once. It also hits the button as fast as possible. And we're going to get a screenshot here for the thumbnail. Yeah. So all we do is click this and we're going to fast forward the crafting. So making that almost got us to provisioning 20, which is right where we need to be. So let's just do a couple more here and see if we can't knock that out. And bang, we're at provisioning 20. One quick tip for you, if you do have a bunch of champion points, realize that you can spend them here, which I didn't earlier. Dang, whoops. Send them right here to get an increase in inspiration, which is the crafting experience, for a nice big old boost. Okay, so we got that done. Now we can use those blue recipes, and we can unlock this to increase our doing better and better things. We can also increase the food duration, but we don't really want to concern ourselves with that. We're not really making a whole lot of stuff. So all we need to do is get access to the blue recipes and make higher and higher quality. So we want to probably go for level 25 items if we can. So let's see what we can't make. Alright, so I put have ingredients, have skill on. Got 100 of these suckers. That's level 1. Level 25. That's pretty good. Let's check if we can't make one of these tonics and tea. Yeah. 15 and 25. Ooh, we can make 56 of this. Okay, so we need to get to level 30. Let's see what this gets us. Well, we almost hit that important 30 mark. We're still a couple bits away. So let's go back to brew here. And I think we had a level 25 green. Let's see if we can't make a couple of these real quick. Let's see where we're at. Perfect. We're at level 30. Let's go check our skill line. Recipe improvement is exactly what we want. The next one we have to get to 39. So our goal here is to find a level 35 item that we can craft. 35. So it looks like small game and seasoning. I'm out of almost all of that. Let's see if we can have a drink here we can get. It's 35 or very close. There's 35. It's a green. I can make 70 of it. So since I'm out of that stuff and I have tons of Aki Berry, that's good for you kids. Let's try to make this and see how far we can get. And bang, we hit the 40 mark. Congratulations to me. We don't need the recipe quality because this isn't going to be our main provisioner, but we do need recipe improvement. Let's put one in that little sucker, and then we got 50. So we're going to go all the way to 50 with this, put 2 points into it, and then we're going to get certified in crafting writs. So we should be able to make pretty high-end stuff now. 45, great. That's a green. We can only make 7 of them. We can make 66 of these little fancy guys, 40s, we can make a bunch of that. So we have tons and tons of ingredients. Ooh, we can make 8. Too bad I didn't have more greens. Level 40 blue, and I can make 60 of them. Let's see if this guy can't take us all the way home to 50. Our taboo salad didn't get us quite there, but that's okay. We got the Schronklon elk and scuttle. Take us home. Oh snap, the hype is real. Yes, sir. We got to 50. And we can do recipe improvements. 1 and 2. We're doing that because we want to get the max level provisioning writ. Ew, I just sold a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Nice. Okay, so we're going to do hirelings as well. Just so I get a lot of materials coming in. And then we need to get certified and crafting writs. Last little trick for you guys. And I'm going to show you that in the next video, and that's where we're going to talk about how to get these experience potions rolling, because we're just about there. So stay tuned for the next video, and that's why I'm going to talk about the experience boosters, Citic Ambrosia. Thank you so much for watching, and more guides to come.